Picture this, a bustling city street filled with the sounds of traffic and chatter. The air is thick with the energy of countless lives intersecting, each person wrapped up in their own world, their own story. The city is alive, a symphony of movement and sound. You're rushing to a meeting, briefcase in hand, mind racing with the day's agenda. Your thoughts are a whirlwind of tasks, deadlines, and responsibilities. The crowd around you is a blur, faces passing by without a second glance. Suddenly, you hear a familiar voice calling your name. It's a sound that cuts through the noise, a beacon in the chaos. You stop in your tracks, heart skipping a beat as you turn to see who it is. You turn around and see a former colleague, someone you haven't seen in years. Their face lights up with recognition and a smile spreads across your own face. In that moment, the years melt away, and you're transported back to a time when you worked side by side. What's your first reaction? Likely a warm feeling spreads through you. It's a mix of surprise, joy, and a deep sense of connection. You feel a rush of memories, shared experiences, and the bond you once had. You feel seen, acknowledged, remembered. It's as if, in that brief moment, you matter in a way that transcends the daily grind. Your existence is validated by the simple act of someone remembering your name. This simple act of remembering your name has instantly bridged the gap of time and distance. It reaffirms the human connection, reminding you that relationships are built on these small, yet significant gestures. It makes you feel valued, appreciated. It's a reminder that in the vast sea of humanity, you are not just another face. You are someone who has left an impression, someone who is worth remembering. Now imagine the opposite scenario. Picture yourself walking down that same busy street, but this time the outcome is different. Your former colleague walks right past you, a vacant look in their eyes. They don't recognize you, don't call out your name. It's as if you are invisible. Just another passerby in the crowd. You're just another face in the crowd. Your presence unnoticed, unimportant. Disappointing, isn't it? The lack of recognition stings, leaving you feeling isolated and insignificant. This simple anecdote highlights the profound impact of a remembered name. It's a small gesture, yet it carries immense weight. It can transform a fleeting moment into a meaningful connection. It's a small gesture, yet it speaks volumes about respect, consideration, and the value we place on our relationships. Remembering someone's name is more than just a courtesy. It's a way of showing that you care, that you value the person and the relationship you share. In a world that often feels impersonal and disconnected, these moments of recognition and connection are what truly matter. Why is hearing our own name so powerful? It's a question that has intrigued psychologists and neuroscientists alike for years. The sound of our name can evoke a range of emotions and reactions, often without us even realizing it. Psychologists suggest it's deeply ingrained in our psyche. Our name is one of the first words we learn to recognize and respond to. It's a fundamental part of our identity, woven into the very fabric of who we are. From infancy, our name is how we're identified, called upon, loved. Parents use it to get our attention, to comfort us, to express affection. This early association with care and attention makes our name a powerful trigger for emotional responses. It represents our individual identity, our unique place in the world. In a sea of faces, our name is what sets us apart, what makes us unique. It's a symbol of our personal history, our experiences, and our relationships. When someone remembers our name, it shows they see us, not just as a face in the crowd, but as individuals worthy of recognition. This act of remembering and using our name can create a sense of belonging and acceptance. It acknowledges our existence, validates our importance. In social settings, using someone's name can break down barriers and foster a sense of camaraderie and trust. It's a small gesture that can have a big impact on our social interactions. This simple act triggers a positive emotional response, making us more receptive, more open to connection. It can enhance our mood, boost our self-esteem, and even improve our overall well-being. Think about it. Haven't you noticed how much more attentive you become when someone addresses you by name? It's almost as if our brain is hardwired to respond to this personal cue, making us more alert and engaged. It's like a mental spotlight shines on the speaker, instantly grabbing your attention. This heightened focus can improve communication and understanding, making interactions more meaningful and effective. You feel respected, valued, and more inclined to listen. In a world where we often feel overlooked, hearing our name can be a powerful reminder that we matter, that we are seen and heard. Now you might be thinking, that's all well and good, but I'm terrible at remembering names. Don't worry, you're not alone. Forgetting names is a common issue that many people face, especially in social settings where you meet multiple new faces at once. Many people struggle with this, but like any skill, it can be learned and improved with practice. The key is to be patient with yourself, and to use effective techniques consistently. Here are a few simple techniques that can make a big difference in your ability to remember names. First, focus on the name when you first hear it. This means giving the person your full attention and making a conscious effort to remember their name. Repeat it back to the person, use it in conversation. For example, you could say, "Nice to meet you, Sarah," or "How long have you been working here, John?" This repetition helps cement the name in your memory. The more you use the name, the more likely you are to remember it. Second, associate the name with a visual image. This technique leverages the power of visual memory, which is often stronger than auditory memory. Does their name remind you of a famous person, a place, or an object? For instance, if you meet someone named Alice, you might picture Alice in Wonderland. This mental link can serve as a retrieval cue later on. When you see the person again, the visual image will help you recall their name. Third, jot down the name and a few details about the person after meeting them. This could be in a notebook, on your phone, or even on a business card. This reinforces the memory and provides helpful reminders for future encounters. Reviewing these notes before meeting the person again can make a big difference in your ability to remember their name and details about them. By using these techniques consistently, you'll find that remembering names becomes easier and more natural over time. So the next time you meet someone new, put these tips into practice and see the difference for yourself. Let me share a story about a young salesman who landed a major client, all thanks to the power of a name. He was meeting with the CEO of a large corporation, a notoriously tough nut to crack. Before the meeting, the salesman did his research. He learned that the CEO was an avid golfer and had a granddaughter named Lily. During their conversation, the salesman subtly weaved in these details, mentioning his own love for golf and asking about Lily's well-being. The CEO, visibly impressed by the salesman's genuine interest and ability to remember these personal details, warmed up to him instantly. The deal was signed, a testament to the power of personalized attention and a remembered name. Section 5. Bridging the gap. A name in a sea of faces. Imagine attending a conference, surrounded by hundreds of unfamiliar faces. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, lost in the crowd. Now, imagine someone approaches you, smiles warmly, and greets you by name. You instantly feel seen, acknowledged, and a connection is made. This is the power of a name in action. It breaks down barriers, fosters a sense of familiarity, and paves the way for meaningful interactions. It transforms strangers into potential connections, acquaintances into friends. Section 6. Beyond business. Names in everyday interactions. The power of a name extends far beyond the business world. It enriches our personal lives, strengthens our relationships, and creates a more compassionate and connected world. Think about the barista who remembers your usual order, the mail carrier who greets you by name, or the neighbor who inquires about your family. These small gestures, fueled by the simple act of remembering a name, make us feel seen, appreciated, and part of a community. Section 7. The ripple effect of a remembered name. The ripple effect of a remembered name is far-reaching. When you make the effort to remember and use someone's name, you're not just making them feel good, you're creating a positive impression that extends beyond that single interaction. People are more likely to remember those who make them feel valued. This can lead to stronger relationships, increased trust, and even new opportunities. Section 8. Small gestures, big impact. In a world often characterized by fleeting interactions and impersonal communication, remembering and using someone's name is a simple yet powerful way to stand out, to make a lasting impression. It's a small gesture, yet it speaks volumes about your character, your respect for others, and your desire to build genuine connections. Section 9. Your challenge. Make a name, remember a name. So the next time you meet someone new, make a conscious effort to remember their name. Use the techniques we discussed, practice consistently, and witness the transformative power of this simple act. You'll be amazed by the positive impact it has on your interactions and relationships. Go out there and make a name for yourself, not by what you achieve, but by how well you remember the names of those you meet along the way.